Hi everybody, my name's Rebecca and welcome back to My Bookish Travels. Today I am doing a book haul for the books that I have either purchased or received during the months of January, February, and right up until today in the month of March. I'm very excited to kind of discuss these because there's actually not a lot of books that I have physically purchased on this list, but they are ones that I'm really excited about. Not going to go into a lot of descriptions about them, just maybe how they came to be in my possession and that, the typical I'm very excited to read them. So without further ado, let's jump into it. 3 books that I'm going to start off with were the editor extras with Audible. What's really great about the Canadian Audible is they have editor extras every single month. They select one audiobook that is free and you do not have to use your credit for. The pick for January was The Queen's Gambit by Walter Tevis, and it's narrated by Amy Landon. I actually am currently listening to that. In February, they had The Tea Rose by Jennifer Donnelly, narrated by Jill Tanner. This one I actually read the synopsis to my mom, and she's like, I can read that with you. So when we both finally have 20 plus hours that we can set aside to listen to this full audiobook, we are going to listen to that together. And for March, I'm actually really excited by this pick because I love listening to books that I've previously read, and March's selection was The Hobbit by J.R.R. Tolkien, and it's narrated by Rob Inglis. That's another one that I was very excited to see and am very excited as well to listen to again. I also have physical paperbacks that I have received as gifts from friends that I'm going to discuss. In January, a friend of mine who moved out of the province and out of the town that I live in a few years ago was not actually able to come home for Christmas this year due to the pandemic. We ended up having to mail each other our Christmas gifts, and these are the 2 books that she sent to me. And a little backstory before I show them: I believe this is someone that she actually knows that has published these books, and she read them during the initial start of the pandemic and said she really liked them and thought that I would as well, which definitely makes me very excited to read these. The first is The Mystery of Black Hollow Lane, and the sequel is called The Secret of Whitestone Gate by Julia Noble. I'm very, very excited to read these, especially with what my friend has said. Who doesn't like a good mystery? And I absolutely love middle grade, and that is exactly what these are hitting on the notes that I love. Next, I ended up actually just receiving these this last few days in the mail. I'm so excited. My friend Maud ended up gifting me these. Again, they were belated Christmas gifts, and they're ones that she's read and definitely recommended, and I'm so excited. The first is The Duchess Deal, Girl Meets Duke by Tessa Dare. And then there's also A Duchess a Day Awakened by a Kiss by Charis Michaels. And both of these are just hitting the notes of historical romance, and after finishing a historical romance that I was just fully enveloped in, I cannot wait to read these. And Maud, in case you are watching this and have not seen my message, thank you. I'm so excited to read these. The next book I'm going to discuss was lent to me back in February, so it is high on my list to get it read. This probably is going to be my next financial book to read once I finish the one I'm currently reading, and that is The Money Game by Adam Smith. This was actually lent to me by a friend's father. I love when he recommends financial books to me because I am slowly starting to delve into reading that genre, and I'd never heard of this one before. He thought that I would really be able to pull a lot out of it, as well as be able to discuss some things with me once I've read it. And I absolutely love when he recommends books to me because it helps me to kind of find some new financial books to read, and I can't wait to read it and be able to sit down and just have a discussion about it with him. So that makes me very excited. And finally, on to the final section of this book haul, which came about today because my niece is turning 2 in a short amount of time. Actually, it's not really a short amount of time. It's in 2 months, but I get excited. So her parents mentioned that she needs new bathtub books because I love buying her books for birthdays or Christmas gifts. And I also tried to buy her a couple of books to add to her bookshelf here at my house. What was originally going to be 2 bathtub books for her to take home and 2 books for her bookshelf here ended up being 2 bathtub books to take home and 3 books because the chapters rep that I was speaking with, her name was Anna, was fantastic and was like, look at this one, look at this one. So luckily I found some really great books, and I actually sat down and just like read through them really fast this afternoon when I got them home, and I was like, these are so adorably cute. Anyway, enough of gushing. Here are the books that I got her. I didn't end up opening up the bathtub books. That's okay, but I got her Glub Glub, which is a Magic Pictures Change Color in Water book, which looks really cool and I think she'll really enjoy. And then the other one is called Colors Under the Sea, and this is another bathtub book. I'm not sure if you guys have ever seen them. My niece loves bathtub books to the point that she accidentally threw my brother's book from his childhood in the bathtub. Oh, he was so upset. But she loves her books. If there's one thing I've instilled in her, it's a love of books. My mom and I were looking, and these were the 3 books that we ended up going with. The first one my mom picked out, and it's so cute. I didn't realize it's part of an entire like line of books. Gonna probably end up buying the rest of them because they were just beautifully illustrated. Anyway, not going to go into detail. It is 5 Little Monkeys Jumping on the Bed by Eileen Cristello, and I love the artwork in this, guys. It just beautiful. Actually, the next 2 were the recommendations by Anna at my local chapters, or I should say Kohl's, because it's an offshoot of chapters. It's Kohl's. Anyway, it's called Sometimes I Like to Curl Up in a Ball by Vicky Churchill and Charles Fuge, and it's got a wombat in it, which is adorably cute. And the final one, which I cannot wait to read this with her, is called Don't Push the Button by Bill Cotter. Like, guys, come on. Just the title of the book alone. I find that I'm like gushing over kids' books again. I've always loved reading kids' books, even to this day. But now that I can like stand in there, I'm like, oh yeah, I got a niece. I can look at these and be excited and totally be like, oh yes, I have a niece. I'm buying books for her. I'm not just there being like, oh no, I'm buying them for me because I think that there's still good quality stories at this age group. Anywho, that is everything. I am pretty excited about the fact that technically I haven't actually spent money on books because these are birthday gifts and they're for her, not me. But aside from that, I'm going on almost 3 months of not buying books and reading the books on my shelf. So that's a win there in itself. If you guys have heard of any of these books or you've read any of them, feel free to let me know what you think. I definitely am excited to get to them, and one of my goals this year is to not have any books I'm given or purchased in 2021 sit on my shelf going into 2022. I really want to start curbing my TBR, and I really want to start making quality choices if I am going to purchase, but also not letting them sit there alone on my shelf for a while. If you guys have any thoughts or you guys want to talk more about these books, feel free to do so in the comments down below. I would love to chat with you guys there. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I will see you next time. Until then, stay safe, stay well, and I'll see you then. Bye.